What's up guys, Asian here with another build video, and today we're taking a look at the Magicka Necromancer. So much like the other Magicka DPS, pretty much Magicka Necromancers did see a slight buff, but at the same time they also were on the receiving end of the kind of across the board nerfs as well. So DPS for Magicka Necromancers, it's a little bit on the lower end of things compared to some of the other DPS classes. In this particular parse, if you compare it to my other Magicka DPS builds, you will notice that I am hitting higher here, but you also take into consideration that we are getting major vulnerability here as a Magicka Necromancer, which the other classes don't have, so that is pushing up our DPS by a little bit here. If you take into consideration major vulnerability on other class parses, you can add in another about 2k or so. So Magicka Necromancers, while they are doing pretty respectable DPS comparatively, they're still kind of on the lower end here. The big thing with Magicka Necromancers is that it's kind of easy to sustain. You don't really have that big of a sustain issue, but this is assuming, of course, that you're able to get Siphon to work appropriately. In a dummy parse here under controlled environment, Siphon works pretty much 100% of the time, but in trials where obviously boss hitboxes can be larger and there are other possible corpses around, Siphon might not be as reliable. So while you do have very good sustain when Siphon is going, Siphon itself is still a little bit buggy here. On top of that, you also have to consider that Blastbones is still a little bit wonky as well. I didn't experience it here in this particular parse, but I have had parses when I was testing out a couple other builds here where Blastbones would be grayed out and I would have to bar swap twice to basically allow myself to use Blastbones again. Magicka Necromancers are still going to be highly desired in any Magicka DPS spec, mainly for that major vulnerability. Most progression groups will have 3 Necromancers, and if you are a Magicka DPS oriented group, then chances are you'll have 3 Magicka Necromancers here. But beyond that, there's not much else to talk about here with Magicka Necromancers. The builds and information is all in the description below, just like the rest of our build videos here. So enjoy the rest of this parse.